How are we getting on, folks? Look at safe to say, Down Royal definitely delivered. Um, look, we had four winners, one nice each way in the first race at 25-1. Layla's Daffodil, and look at the rest is history. We got five five returning horses from six runners, so that was definitely a brilliant day altogether, and it was definitely something that I'm delighted that I was able to land for you all. I know an awful lot of people did say their thanks and all that to me, and it's great to see so many people being so grateful as well. Just for me spending 20 minutes, half an hour on these videos, trying to, make things a little bit easier for all of you. But I have a few for you now tomorrow. There's two I'm not going to be covering simply because one is miles too short, and the other one is the patron horse of the day, so I'm not going to be covering it here. But out of the rest of them, we have a 14-1 each way, 9-4, 9-2, 20-1 each way, and 10-3. Next best of the day. The nap is definitely the 9-4 one. It looks to be miles too good for these. But what I'm really liking is Tipperary back. For most of you, I would know Tipperary does tend to be a fairly good track for me. I tend to leave my best for the likes of Tipperary, Clonmel, different places like that. But Cork as well is another great track that I've a great record on, especially there in the last season. But look, it's something that I'm hoping that's really going to show here, and it should be ideal, really, and it should be a great opportunity. First race off the 420, I don't need to say anymore. Gypsy Island should be walking this if she holds any sort of ability. The 455 is my patron pick of the day, so I'm not going to be covering that one. But the 525, Jack Holiday here at 10-3. Definitely deserved favourite. I've heard plenty of great things about the horse. Darragh O'Keefe, who is a man that I highly admire, takes the ride here today. But the one thing about this is the one thing that's turning me off it is its front running tactics. Tipperary tends to be a track where you come from off the pace, you make a bolt to the line at the finish, and generally races are run from the back of the field. So in that sense, Jack Holiday, I will be going against him. Now, there is one down here coming from a man in serious form, being definitely among the winners lately and coming in here off a very light weight. In fact, I think it's coming in here. It's not coming in here off bottom weight, but it's definitely one of the ones down the bottom of the weights, and looks to be fairly well thrown in, is Clún Dara for John Patrick Ryan and Danny Mullins. Danny is my God, he's having some season, but this horse here currently priced at 14-1. I definitely think it's, if there's going to be a horse that's going to put it up to Jack Holiday, I think this one here is definitely the one that's going to be the one. Generally, a hold-up horse likes to come from off the pace, comes with a late flourish in the finish, and has definitely been thereabouts. Its last win was in Clonmel on soft to heavy ground when it beat Back in the Boom by 7 lengths. Springfield Lodge, Ellipsism, Hell on Earth, Hungry Tiger, Trump's Ace, a very good horse for Timothy Doyle. American Image pulled up as well that particular day. Debonair for James Grace, another very talented sort. Solar Heat has been fairly consistent. The list goes on. It was a fairly decent race and a fairly competitive one, but Clún Dara won by 7 lengths. Generally versatile, probably prefers heavy ground, to be quite honest, which is why the horse is probably 14-1. But when you look at its form on good, especially at this sort of a mark, second out of 13 on August 2014 in Tremor on good ground, half a length behind Mary Fields, coming from off the pace. Can't Kid a Kidder, fairly decent and consistent one for the Dooley team. Loch Luha, again, another very consistent one for the young team. Island Master, Ballyfin Boy, Shannon Tide, Sleevemore Lass. All of these fairly consistent ones. Next one then was third in Sligo on, was it good firm? No, just good ground. Now 11 lengths behind Cortage earned that particular day, but coming from the Paul Stafford team, he was definitely well thrown in. Behind Loch Luha, this particular day, Ballinasilla, Shankly's Dawn, Malilly, fairly decent horse for Patrick Rooney there. Unchango, Mary Fields, Humps and Bumps, Mr. Bolt. The rest didn't finish, but I definitely think the fact, look at the John Ryan. John Ryan's been in serious form the last couple of weeks. He's had 6 runners. He's won 2. He's coming off a 33% strike rate. Danny Mullins is having the season of his life. Now, I know Danny is more of a front running jockey, and he tends to get the best out of a horse from front running, but he knows Clundara. He knows how to ride her. And just making sure it is a her. No, it's him, Geldon. That's my mistake there. But I personally think the fact that it's £9 lower, probably coming in here on a track that would be suiting it more, I think it's definitely well thrown in of £9 lower than his last winning mark, and should really take a fair bit of whacking if it gets going near the finish. Now, moving on then to 6 o'clock, the nap of the day, the one you're all waiting for. I cannot look past the horse coming from one of the men in form as well. One of the men having a serious season. Emmett Mullins, Brian Hayes, Pilbara, currently priced at 9-2. And honestly, this one here looks to be well thrown in. If I'm not mistaken, this time last year, I could be totally wrong, but I think this horse, I'm nearly certain it was, this horse here got suspended or banned from racing last year when coming from off the pace and looked like it was, I suppose, given a very patient ride and being rode to lose, basically. But it's ideal for this sort of course and distance. He's a previous course winner, previous distance winner. Loves to just come off the pace and loves to be held up off at the back. Expect to see this lad parked out the back, like with Clundara in the race beforehand. Expect to see this lad making a bit of a burst, say, coming around the second last bend before it reaches the last and then the big long straight. That's exactly when I'd love to see the horse making a move, because he stays all day. He's got plenty of time to make up the running in the straight and tortoise. If he has any sort of ability at all, he should definitely be thereabouts. I think he is the nap of the day. I think he won't be beaten. I think the fact that the other two ahead of him, Fully Charged and Friary Rock, prefer to be front runners. I think the two of them are going to take each other on, and therefore going to run themselves into the ground by the time the race is in the heat of the action, where Pilbara should be waiting in the wings and come with a swoop and run out the outside and win by 4 or 5 lengths. That's what will happen in an ideal world. Now, I know all of you are looking at me probably thinking that I'm mad, but that's the way I hope to see the race running out. If it does, I'll be made look a genius, but realistically, it's just a bit of form studying at the end of the day. Now, 6:30 then, and this one here, it's a bit of a tricky one, because an awful lot of these are coming from the point-to-point scenes. Any ones that haven't made the rules debut haven't necessarily shown a hell of a lot of ability. It's hard to really know. The one that I am definitely liking is Ajijak, not 100% sure. Number 1 in the card, trained by Terence Leonard, ridden by Mikey O'Connor, I think it is. Mikey? MJ O'Connor. I think that's Michael. I'm not 100% sure. I could be totally wrong. But currently priced at 9-2. I think this one here, it's worth a small bet. I wouldn't be going hell for leather in on it. But look, it was a winner last time out. Looking back at the form, it's hard to know. He showed his wellness there by winning last Sunday. Now, whether he's going to actually show his true running now or not, I don't know. I think if he has any sort of, how would you say, like, not ability, because he definitely does have ability. He's ridden in better races than this in the past. But whether he can withhold the ability is what I'm trying to say, and keep pushing on and come back from, I suppose, such a short break in between runs and be able to do it back to back. But look, it's up to yourselves. I wouldn't be going hell for leather. It's another race that I wouldn't necessarily be going totally mad on, but um, definitely well worth considering, and could be well worth. Look at Stick on €2 to win 11. That's the way I would be going here with this one. 7 o'clock. This one's tricky. You have a favourite in here, the second reserve. I personally wouldn't be going with him. I would be looking at something further down the market. Now, there's one in here that's a full, I think it's a full sister or full sister to a winner for Paul Nicholls out in England called Ask for Glory. Similar enough. It's aptly named because it's Ask for Fame. It's by Fame and Glory out of Ask Helen. It's a very clever name and a very clever play on words between the two. But Donald Coffey owns it, Donald Coffey breads it, and Donald Coffey trains it, and Mr. J.D. Coffey rides it. So it's definitely very much a family affair. Well, I presume it's a family affair. I'm not 100% sure. I would imagine it is, but look, when you look at the breeding, it's definitely lots to like about it. It's 20 to 1 at the moment. It's been slightly nibbled at. It was 33s. I think it's worth a couple of quid each way. I wouldn't be going mad at that sort of a price, especially when the second reserve is favourite. Is probably worth taking it on. If you want to have a couple of quid each, or not even each way, on the favourite, and potentially get your money back if it doesn't get in. But look, realistically, it's the best bred horse of the race, and he should be winning this if he does get in. But again, it's a tricky one. I wouldn't be going mad in him anyway. But look, you'll get your money back if he doesn't run. But I think, to be sensible and to be going at an each way price, if this horse doesn't get in, the market's going to open up massively again, and you're definitely not going to get 20 to 1 on Ask for Fame. And I just think it's worth a couple of quid each way. The fact that it's already a full sister to Ask for Glory. Now, 7:30. And I'm hopefully not going to be putting the mockers on Barry Connell like I did for many, many occasions last year. But I'm going to do it again this year, and I'm going to go with Barry Connell and Barry O'Neill with My Immortal at 10 to 3. I just think it's very interesting, and the way it won its maiden point to point, it's been boosted by two bumper winners out in Britain since. Now, Fruit and Nut won in Catterick the next. Won in Musselburgh and Catterick next two times out, and is now rated 114. He was 2 lengths in behind him that particular day. Frahan Hill didn't win. Just going down through the winners. Must have been the 5th. No, it wasn't. Jeez me. I don't know where this winner is supposed to have come from, but it says there's Captain Monday potentially. I'm not 100% sure. Must have been Out of Liberty. No, it wasn't. It says here there's two winners. I don't know. There's definitely one winner. Probably look at the horse in second won 2 bumpers. That's probably it. I think if it runs to that sort of standard, the fact it was 2 lengths ahead of this 2-time winner since, and now that horse is rated 114, you could say this horse is potentially one that could be rated in or around the 118, 120 mark. Favorite in here is 102, so look, at make of it what you will. I think this horse could be well thrown in, and definitely looks to be one to be siding with. But look, that's all I have for tomorrow. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you can, head over to the Irish Racing Hour page. We will have a podcast going up later on there tonight. with Jordan Canavan and a very special guest. I'm not going to tell you who it is. You're going to have to see that yourself. But it was a very, very interesting interview, and it's definitely going to be well worth a watch for all those ones that want to see what goes on inside of racing yards, racing jockeys, different things. It's a great insight into what goes on inside the head of a young conditional jockey in Ireland and in England as well, with Jordan as well. But I say for the patron end of things, I'm going to leave a link in the description below. That basically funds that podcast that we do. What we do as well, we do daily tips. I had a 15-length winner there today at 11 to 10, so that was a fairly nice one. I'm basically what I'm trying to say is we do these every single day. We only ask for €10 a month. What that covers you then as well, like I said, the daily tips, but we do monthly giveaways as well. We've given away over €400 in prize or in prizes and different things like that. But this month we're giving away a year worth of a share in a horse, basically. For the €10, all you need to do is sign up to the thing, sign up to the patron service, put in the €10, and you're automatically entered into the draw. Now, anyone can win it. Everyone has the same opportunity. If you're not in, you can't win. But someone's definitely going to get plenty of bang for their buck this month anyway, with the year membership in a share of a horse. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you are going to be having a bet tomorrow, the very, very best of luck. And hopefully we have another day like down Ryle.